This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Very excited to have Patrick with Patch Worxs back on the channel. He just finished this client build. It's a T1N Sprinter built for full-time travel and work from the road, and this thing is awesome. So join us for the tour.
Hey Patrick, it is good to be back on the channel. It's been a while. I've got another great build to show you. I'm excited, but before we get inside, let's take a look on the outside and keep everything toasty in there. So this is a 2006 T1N Sprinter. It's a 2.7 liter turbo diesel. It gets really good gas mileage. They're very big and hardy, meant to do long miles. They last a long time, and I am a big believer in them. The paint we have here is just exterior house paint that I rolled on with a 4-inch roller in many little layers. It is not perfect, but it's a couple $100 instead of a couple thousand. All the runners is a spray paint job. Again, everything sanded down, spray painted up. It lasts a long time and looks pretty good. We've added a bunch of windows in this van. This one is cool because it tilts up so you can have it open in the rain. They all have screens on the inside. This all opens above the kitchen, and there's one on the other side, so there's a flow through the entire van. Up top there's a roof rack. We have 400 watts of solar to go with the solar system. It also folds up so you can get that low angle sun and then get all of the roof deck space. There's also a Starlink up there that has a magnetic mount that you can pull off, and then you have a really big roof deck. This is a water fill for their 33-gallon wheel well water tank for their fresh water. Back here, we have another sick window and a ladder that the clients actually welded together themselves and made real nice to get up on that roof deck. And on this side, a couple more windows, including a porthole, which I think is rather neat. It looks super cool from the inside. And then a couple house plugs if you're plugging into an extension cord. This is for the Ethernet cable if they're ever running their Starlink out to the open sky if they're tucked in the trees. And I think that's about this here. I can show you the garage while we're out here. It's a pretty big garage, a lot going on. Boom. You can see the power system down here. So this is over 400 amp hours of lithium batteries. We got a hefty charge controller, inverter, fuse panel, and there's also a 12-volt conversion for the Starlink. So they'll be working full-time on the road while they're traveling. They need a lot of power and a lot of Starlink. She's streaming, doing videos, video calls, that kind of stuff, and this will support that, no problem. There's some lights under here that light everything up so you can see it. They do a bunch of fun stuff, but not too important. That is the big old water tank that goes all the way to the front of the van because it is large. There's a propane box tucked behind there somewhere, so the propane is safe and secure. The back of the fridge and a lot of storage. You can see here in the bed, it's a good time to see it. There's a air layer here to keep everything clean and moist and that kind of stuff. And a little ladder, actually. Boom. So I'll show you when we get in, but the back of that bed folds up into a bit of a couch. So they can get up in there, lay back, taking the views out these back doors. Got a couple little cubbies on the sidewalls as well. It's hitched, it's got a hitch on it. It's got plugs for it if they ever want to pull the trailer or anything like that. And yeah, you can get a little bit of a look in there, teaser of the ceiling and all that that's going on. We had a pretty special artist do that work for us, but we'll do that when we get inside. This has been about a 3-month build, which is longer than I usually take, but it was big and intricate and pretty artistic, so I hope you like it. Boom. This is the entranceway. I always love having a table at the door and a water jug to fill water bottles. When you have the van, everybody's always asking you for water. That's a good way to do it. A couple cubbies in there as well. And then on this side, a wall with a good old handle. This will be plenty of spaces for hooks. This is Colin.
How's it going?
This is my buddy and client. Him and his partner are taking this trip across the country. They have partly moved in already, so you'll see some of their stuff, which is good. And this is the rest of the layout. It's pretty crazy. We have a desk, a workspace, there's a hidden toilet, a hidden shower, a dinette, a double bed, a big old galley kitchen, and even an oven and a hammock. Starting up front, you can see it's got an upgraded radio station. It's got Apple CarPlay and navigation and that kind of stuff. There's some upgraded speakers, fans, some bungee nets for more places to put things. These are all the covers for the windows. They pop in quick and easy. We have a curtain that pulls out, covers everything up. There's a wall with a bunch of hooks to hold jackets and those sort of things. Some tall bulk items. It's always good to have room for that. So this is built with a gap. There's also a mounting point for a hammock, which I can show you real quick because that's pretty fun. That hooks onto there. Find the other end. That hooks onto there. You got yourself a hammock inside of the van. Boom. And it pops down just as simple. And we'll move that out of the way. Down here is a very large drawer with a hidden toilet under there. This is the Cuddy composting toilet. I'm a big fan of this toilet. It's clean and all of that at the moment. It's plugged in so it has an exhaust fan, and this also fits wet floors. This also fits in between the driver's and passenger seat. So at night, you can close the curtain, put the toilet over there, and have a bit of a separate room. Everything else is just some big old storage, nice and neat. You can see they're already kind of moved in, and this is part of the desk space. So when this is out and this is out, you have a big old L. It's a lot of room to work, place to put your coffee and your laptop. This slides open to all of this, room for your computer things and that kind of stuff. And then it all goes back away. Boom. Boom. Up in here is just a big old closet, lots of storage space. This is where they'll keep bulk clothes and that kind of stuff. And then up top, just a little shove cabinet. I don't always love doors. It's good just to be able to shove some things into some spaces. And while we're up there, you can take a look at the ceiling. This is all cedar and red cedar. I enjoy doing this kind of work, and every van I do, I try to make something cool. And this is the coolest one. And then of course, it blends with that ceiling back there, which we'll talk to in just a little bit. So yeah, over here is the desk space. This folds up and this spins around and becomes part of this bench. And it also goes low enough so that it can be tucked in and away while this desk is down, so you don't have a chair sitting in the hallway and getting in the space. The other cool thing that this space allows for is a little pack away shower. Move this away, pull this plug out of the floor, and then we have this bin, which does store in the garage. It's got a drain built into it. The drain pops into that hole. We use the Rinse Kit Pro, which some people have seen and some people have not, but it's pretty much a built-in water container and the sprayer, which is pretty neat. So this sprayer comes out, and then we'll have some hooks up on the ceiling to hang the shower curtain, and you can rinse off inside. Underneath, there's no gray water tank. It could be added at some point if they find they need it, but for now we just have a bucket you can put under there and capture things, or you're in the middle of the woods and it won't matter. That all pops away, the plug goes back in. We have some bungees and some more storage in there, hooks and such, all that kind of stuff, and a beautiful window. This is a little planter box that will come out if you need to. Add some pizzazz. And then some upper shelves, which are good for holding books and candles and jars and whatever it is they find they need. Moving back a little bit, we have a reading light. This can go over the desk or over this. When you're playing chess on this table, it looks really cool. And it also has a red light mode. She'll be waking up earlier, especially in the different time zones, than he will. So a lot of the lights have red light possibilities to make that better. And then we have the dinette, which has a lot of secret hidden storage in that works specifically for them. This pulls out and open, and that is their laundry chute. I think that's a thing people don't think of. You're gonna have dirty laundry and a place to put it, and it's sort of a bulky thing. So that is a good thing to have. We've got some drawers under here filled with all sorts of stuff. They're all big, they're all on sliders. They all self-close, which is nice. There's really a lot of room. All the upholstery I did myself. This is marine grade vinyl, so if it gets dirty or wet or anything like that, you won't have a problem. Cushions all around to make it comfortable. Same with over there. There's a slot here for a guitar actually that goes all the way into the garage. A long neck guitar in a soft case. It's not with us now, but it slides in there. My friends are musicians and they make a lot of music, so it was important to have that built in. And they actually have a mini guitar that fits up front as well. But yeah, that is super cool to have. Underneath is some more storage for board games and the like. And it's also a very easy access place to work on the diesel heater. If you know these heaters, you know sometimes you got to work on them, and it's nice to have it so easily accessed. For the windows, it's an open sill. it kind of works better. There's enough room for a coffee mug and that kind of stuff. We didn't want to put a lip here, leave it a little more open, and then just some extra storage, some knickknacks or books or something might end up there, depending on what they want to do. This table also folds down, and this is one of the cooler parts. We've got some transformations that can happen. The back of this bench comes on here. There's some legs that fold down. This goes to here. This all fills in. And you've got yourself a guest bed. This also flips up. Like we said before, this spins around. And you have a bench that's 7.5 feet long. Got some wet shoes, but as you can see, plenty of space, built-in thing. I'll be comfortable when I go visiting them. We moved back into the bed, which is partly here. He had an injury on his knee, so being able to spread out completely was important. So this flips down here. These cushions come up, and now that bed gets elongated. It is a double bed. It is 51 inches wide. A full mattress is 54 inches wide, and it's 6 foot long. So they're sleeping long ways, and it should be pretty comfortable for them, especially with this type of popping out. Another reading light here, turns off and on. They have different color filters for the lights, which you can add in later. Some things for the bookshelf. There's a curtain for the bed. Again, some people will be waking up earlier than others to get to work. So if somebody wants to stay in bed and do some snoozing, there's a little curtain to make that a little nicer. And then we have this ceiling, which you can see is absolutely marvelous. It's a tufted rug from our friend Winnie Bella. They are incredibly talented. They do a lot of great work. I'm sure we'll put their plugs in here. You should check them out. But they made this separately to the dimensions that we had said, and then we mounted it all to the ceiling, then put the ceiling up, then blended the ceilings together, and then added the lights. So it was a lot of work from a lot of people, and we're really excited about it, and we think it does a lot. Then we got some upper cabinets here, some extra bulk storage. Boom. 2 max air fans. So there's one here and back there. So the airflow can be really what you want, especially with all the windows that open. Both of these windows open on the side, and that window opens in the back. So you can pull any which direction that you want. There's also a couple switches back here for the Starlink, so you can turn it off and on from in bed. As soon as she wakes up, she can go on, turn it on. Back to here, we've got a little bit of a step to get up into the bed, make it a little easier. It pulls all the way out so you can use it anywhere. And there's some storage. I'll move it out of the way for just a second because this opens up to a bunch of under sink storage, that kind of stuff. The gray water tank is just a 7-gallon gray water. There's a 33-gallon over the wheel well, some extra storage. And then this floor also lifts up and gives you some even more room to be storing some things. That all goes back together. That drawer goes in, and this is the fridge. So there's a pin in here that locks it from rolling out. Everything slides, opens up, and you can get to your fridge. It also has a little freezer on there that they can crank up because they got the power system for it. And then it all goes back away. The drawer goes into here. Boom. And we're back to where we started. Boom. This is the controller for the diesel heater. Every year it seems like they make these a little better. It is a great investment to make, to be enjoying yourself when the weather is not doing as much as you would like. On this wall is a medicine cabinet. This shelf is adjustable at the moment, so we can put it where they need it. Both of them work together on this mosaic, which is beautiful and adds a really great pop. We have a very large sink. It's the largest sink I've ever put in a van. Faucet, everything, normal, any other van. It's a little cold, so I won't mess with that. Some more shelves. Liv, who is Colin's partner, knitted this, crocheted this hammock for the fruit, added some shelves. This is a little drying rack that folds up and stays small, so you don't have to have it out all the time. Pretty nifty. Another good find from Liv. We have some power with a very cool plug here. Etsy. It's good to support people that are making cool stuff. And then a power system. And these are the main lights, which are on a dimmer. So it can all go up and down. And then, of course, you can see when it's down. We got fun lights that'll dance with the music. All that kind of stuff. Any color you want. And then the oven. turns on. This is a 3-burner oven. This flips up and gets locked in. It kind of acts as a backsplash against those things that you have plugged in. Opens up, and this is the tallest version so that bread can rise. Liv is a very talented baker and will surely be making lots of good things. So if you see them out on the road, you'll probably get yourself a homemade cookie. Underneath is some more shoe storage. It's another thing that sometimes people overlook, and then they end up not knowing where to put things. So it's good to have that kind of stuff in there. And then just a rack of drawers. These are all big and wide and fit all sorts of things. They're pretty much moved in completely with all of their baking supplies. And they're all super nice and super smooth and have a whole lot of storage. Boom. Up top is more of a shelf, like I said, and then this is a cork board. So eventually we'll have tacks and they can hang up a bunch of pictures and pins and magnets up on here. All the stuff they have from their adventures can get shown and gives you a good place to look at it. And yeah, the sliding window, like I said, it opens this way. Pops out so you can have it open when it rains, which I think is pretty important because these windows, you can't really do that. And yeah, that might be most of it.
Patrick, thank you very much for taking the time to give us a tour of this awesome creation. Coming out on a snowy winter day here in New Jersey.
We almost made it out in time.
You know, we've done a tour in the snow once before.
Yep.
I think this is now your 6th or 7th time on the show.
Yeah, at least.
And let me tell you, I get super, super excited every single time you build a van because I know it's going to be over the top. You're an artist. You're a craftsman. You are so creative. And you live the lifestyle. You don't just build them. You're out there living the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing is you don't realize that you could benefit or need a van until you get out on the road and realize how much easier it is to have the freedom of having your own camper van versus staying in hotels or a big type of RV.
Absolute game changer for sure.
Yeah.
I do think the fact that I live on the road is a big part of it because I know what actually works and can grow with it. As I spend more time on the road and I learn more things, my builds can get better because of it.
And I read all the comments, and sometimes people say, oh, the drawers or this cubby's too small.
Yeah.
I have a van myself, and I know when you have too big of a storage compartment, you wind up putting so much stuff in it. You got to move 10 things out of the way to get the one thing. So having a little space like this, a little shelf like this, drawers that aren't super deep, you can see everything. You don't. You're not tempted to stack on top of stack on top of stack. So even stuff like this, it's just nice to stuff stuff in versus opening a door.
Yes, I agree.
Well, I'll put links in the description so our viewers can click over to your YouTube channel and your social media so they can keep in touch. And I'll be following your journey as you go down the road. This is going to be an exciting new venture for you, working and traveling from the road.
Yeah, we want to see it all.
Want to see it all. And this van will get you there. Yeah. Just so we can review one more time, power system. You know, you mentioned the solar on the roof. What's the total amp hours and inverter size?
It is a 412 amp hour battery bank, 400 watts of solar, a 2200 Victron Phoenix inverter, and then just a 12 volt fuse panel. It charges from the engine. There's an isolator to charge from the engine. There's a plug-in so you can plug into an extension cord, and there's the solar, so you get 3 ways of charging, and then it comes out to here through all the fuses.
And you got a mostly bulletproof T1N Sprinter van, 2006, with 80,000 miles on it?
80,000 miles,
Took you guys forever to find it?
Took forever to find it. We put a lot of work into it when we first got it. Colin spent a month under the van taking out the little rust that was there and coating it. It's been to Million Mile Sprinter over in Philadelphia a bunch of times, and all the parts are nice. This thing is really ready to go, and they're going to have a really good time with it.
Well, awesome. I'll see you for your next build.
You know it.
Maybe this summer or fall. Well, this is Patrick, New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I'll see you soon.
See you guys later. Thank you.